clothed with light. The voice of power shattered night. A world was forged by sovereign hand. The breath of life to fill the land. Earth was formless, darkness reigned. The spirit hovered, the word proclaimed, let there be light, and it pierced the gloom, dividing day from the endless tomb. Earth was formless, darkness reigned. The spirit hovered, the word proclaimed, let there be light, and it pierced the gloom, dividing day from the endless tomb. Mountains rose, the seas were tamed, stars were hung, the heavens named, creation sang in heaven's key, the mark of God, eternity. In the beginning, the word was alive. In the beginning, through him all creation would thrive. From dust to glory, his purpose revealed, the seed of promise, the covenant sealed. In the beginning, in the beginning, man was shaped from the dirt below. In his image the life would flow, given the garden a charge to keep. Yet through the fall, their fate would wait. A serpent's lie, the curse was cast, but mercy spoke of a hope to last. Through the bloodline, a savior's call to break the chains and restore our soul. In the beginning, the word was alive. In the beginning, through him all creation would thrive. From dust to glory, his purpose revealed, the seed of promise, the covenant sealed. In the beginning, in the beginning. From Eden's gates to Babel's rise, the flood consumed, but love survives. Through broken paths and shadowed days, the Father's plan remains ablaze. All things began by his decree. The Alpha reigns eternally. From the first breath to heaven's reign, the Lamb was slain to end the pain. In the beginning, the word was alive. In the beginning, through him all creation would thrive. From dust to glory, his purpose revealed, the seed of promise, the covenant sealed. In the beginning, in the beginning. Chains of iron, hearts enslaved, a cry for freedom, a voice was raised. Through fire and wonder, his power displayed. A mighty hand, the path was paved. Oppression ruled, the years dragged on. The chosen people, their hope seemed gone. But in the desert, a flame burned bright, a call to Moses to lead the fight. Oppression ruled, the years dragged on. The chosen people, their hope seemed gone. But in the desert, a flame burned bright, a call to Moses to lead the fight. Let my people go, the command was clear. Through plagues and signs and judgment near, Pharaoh's throne began to break as heaven moved for his name's sake. Deliver us, ooh, deliver us, almighty King. Split the sea and break the sting. Lead us through this barren land with fire and cloud by your command. Deliver us to the promised land. The waters parted, the path laid bare through walls of sea. His love declared, the oppressor's pride was swept away. His people marched to a brighter day. Bread from heaven, water flowed. The law was written, his heart bestowed. In the wilderness, his presence dwelled. A holy covenant, his love compelled. Deliver us, ooh, deliver us, almighty King. Split the sea and break the sting. Lead us through this barren land with fire and cloud by your command. Deliver us to the promised land. On Sinai's peak, his voice was heard, the great I am, the eternal word. Through deserts dry, through trials severe, the God of Israel is always near. From bondage free, the people stand, forever guided by his hand. Deliver us, ooh, deliver us, Almighty King, split the sea and break the sting. Lead us through this barren land, with fire and cloud by your command. Ooh, deliver us to the promised land. Walk upright, the line graves, the altar raised, a holy God, forever praised. Through the tribes, the priests were called to bear the weight, to stand for all with blood and fire. The offerings laid to cleanse the sin, the price was paid. In the tent, the glory fell, a voice that thundered, a holy spell, be holy, as I am pure, for my presence none endure. The holy fire, the holy fire, it burns within. The holy fire, a call to cleanse, to turn from sin. With sacrifice, his grace revealed, a covenant by blood is sealed. Through the holy fire. For the nation's blame, sent to wander in guilt and shame. The high priest took the sacred place with trembling hands before his face. With the smoke, a crimson stream, justice met with mercy's gleam. Through the blood, the way was made, the victim man forever stay. The holy fire, the holy fire, it burns within. The holy fire, a call to cleanse, to turn from sin. With sacrifice, his grace revealed, a covenant by blood is sealed. Through the holy fire. To law, the shadows showed the coming Lamb, the debt he'd hold. From sin's deep pit, the cry is clear, holiness draws ever near. The veil was torn, the price fulfilled. No greater love could ever be willed. From Leviticus, the Calvary's tree, the holy fire set us free. Within the holy fire, a call to cleanse, to turn from sin. With sacrifice, his grace revealed, a covenant by blood is sealed. Through the holy fire. Through barren lands, a voice resounds, the chosen walk where no life abounds. A journey long, the promise near, through faith and doubt, through hope and fear. From Sinai's peak, the march began, a countless host, the tribes of man. Cloud by day, fire by night, guided forth by holy might. The desert stretched, the trials came, he tested hearts, he knew their frame. Yet manna fell, the waters poured, provision sent from heaven's Lord. Wilderness call, will you, yeah, will you obey? Will you, yeah, will you follow the fire? Trust in the way, through every trial, through every test. He leads his people to the promised rest. Only if you obey. But murmurs rose, rebellion stirred, hearts grew hard, his voice unheard. A sentence cast to wander years, for disobedience fed by fears. A serpent lifted, mercy displayed, a sign of grace when sin betrayed. Look and live, the promise true. His covenant stands through all we do. Wilderness call. Will you, yeah, will you? Will you obey? Will you, yeah, will you? Follow the fire, trust in the way. Through every trial, through every test, He leads His people to the promised rest. Only if you, only if you, only if you obey. Their faith refined, the land of promise within their minds. From Kadesh's pain to Jordan's stream, the wilderness fates fulfilled the dream. Through barren wastes, His love remains. Through fire and storm, through joy and pain, the call still echoes loud and clear. Follow the shepherd, no need to fear. Wilderness call. Will you, yeah, will you? Will you obey? Will you, yeah, will you? Follow the fire, trust in the way. Through every trial, through every test, He leads His people to the promised rest. Only if you, only if you, only if you obey. But murmurs rose, rebellion stirred. Hearts grew hard, His voice unheard. A sentence cast to wonder years for disobedience fed by fears. Only if you obey. But murmurs rose, rebellion stirred. Hearts grew hard, His voice unheard. A sentence cast to wonder years for disobedience fed by fears. The serpent lifted, mercy displayed, a sign of grace when sin betrayed. Look and live, the promise true. His covenant stands through all we do. Annihilation, their faith refined, the land of promise within their minds. From Kadesh's pain to Jordan's stream, the wilderness fades fulfilled the dream. Through barren waste, His love remained, a sign of grace when sin betrayed. Look and live, the promise true. His covenant stands through all we do. On the edge of promise, hearts prepared. The words of Moses, the truth declared. A generation called to rise, to heed the law and claim the prize. When the water split, the mountain shook, the fire lit. He led you through the desert sand by His command, a mighty hand. Choose life or death, the path is clear. Walk in His ways, draw ever near. The covenant sealed, the promise sure. His steadfast love will long endure. The covenant stands, His word remains. Through every trial, through joys and pains. Hold fast to Him, the rock to guide. Forever faithful by your side. The covenant, the covenant, the covenant stands, His word remains. The covenant, the covenant, the covenant stands through joys and pains. The covenant, the covenant stands, His word remains. The covenant, the covenant, the covenant stands through joys and pains. The idols of nations will tempt and lure, but the voice of the Lord is pure and sure. He calls you now to love Him whole, with all your heart, with all your soul. The blessings flow for those who obey. The curses fall on the wandering way, but even in exile His love will call. Restoration awaits for all. The covenant stands, His word remains. Through every trial, through joys and pains. Hold fast to Him, the rock to guide. Forever faithful by your side. The covenant, the covenant, the covenant stands, His word remains. The covenant, the covenant, the covenant stands for joys and pains. trust His power, to not be afraid. A land of milk, of holy peace. Through faith and courage the fear would cease. The words of Moses, the final plea, to honor the God of eternity. The confidence stands unbroken, divine. Forever His, forever mine. The covenant stands, His word remains. Through every trial, through joys and pain. Hold fast to Him, the rock to guide. Forever faithful by your side. The covenant, the covenant, the covenant stands, His word remains. The covenant, the covenant, the covenant stands through joys and pains. The covenant, the covenant stands, His word remains. The covenant, the covenant, the covenant stands through joys and pains. The battle is the Lord's. They'll live across the land inside a promise born from endless light. A people called a leader stands to claim the gift by heaven's hands. Jericho's walls, a fortress tall, but by His word they're bound to fall. 7 days, the trumpets cry. With faith they march, their victory nigh. Be strong and brave, the Lord commands. The battle belongs to holy hands. The ground you tread He's given you. Stand firm in faith, His word is true. The battle is the Lord's. The battle is the Lord's. The victory won. The battle is the Lord's. Through every fight His will is done. By faith we march by His decree. In faith it stands, the promise stands for eternity. From A's defeat to Gibeon's plea, the sun stood still, His majesty. Through swords and spears, through nights of war, His power reigns forevermore. Not by might nor strength of man, but by His Spirit, by His plan. Obey His word, let idols fall. He leads us on, the Lord of all. The battle is the Lord's. The battle is the Lord's. The victory won. The battle is the Lord's. Through every fight His will is done. By faith we march by His decree. In faith it stands, the promise stands for eternity. Choose this day whom you will serve, for only His path can preserve. The land you walk, the life you live, to Him belongs the praise you give. Through conquest fought, through land subdued, His faithfulness remains renewed. The covenant stands, His name adored. Forever we trust the sovereign Lord. The battle is the Lord's. The battle is the Lord's. The victory won. The battle is the Lord's. Through every fight His will is done. By faith we march by His decree. In faith it stands, the promise stands for eternity. The battle is the Lord's. The battle is the Lord's. The victory won. The battle is the Lord's. Through every fight His will is done. By faith we march by His decree. In faith it stands, the promise stands for eternity. hearts turn cold. Forgotten wonders. The story's old. Through disobedience, the nation's pressed. But in the darkness, he raised the blessed. Israel faltered, they broke the vow. The idols called, they bowed somehow. Oppression rose, the cries grew loud. But from the weak, he chose the proud. When the nations rage, he hears the plea. A righteous hand sets captives free. His spirit moves, the call is clear. To stand in faith, to cast out fear. When heroes rise. When heroes rise, the chains will break. When heroes, with heroes God, no foe can take. Through human hands, his strength displayed. Deliverance born, when faith obeyed. When heroes rise. When heroes rise. A left hand struck, a sword concealed. The enemy fell, the truth revealed. With torches raised, 300 stood. By Gideon's call, he brought them good. When Samson's might tore gates apart, it showed the Lord's unyielding heart. Through flawed and broken, his power shines to guide his people through the lines. When heroes rise. When heroes rise, the chains will break. When heroes, with heroes God, no foe can take. Through human hands, his strength displayed. Deliverance born, when faith obeyed. When heroes rise. When heroes rise. Yet cycles turned, the people strayed, forsaking the one who always stayed. The cry for kings would soon arise. A warning spoke through heaven's skies. Through every judge, his mercy shone. Through every fall, his love was known. A faithful God who never dies, still calls his people when heroes rise. When heroes rise. When heroes rise, the chains will break. When heroes, with heroes God, no foe can take. Through human hands, his strength displayed. Deliverance born, when faith obeyed. When heroes rise. When heroes rise. peoples unknown, a seed of grace was gently sown. In Bethlehem, the plan began to turn the face of mortal man. Redeemed by love, a story unfolds. Through broken hearts, his purpose molds. In the darkest hour, his hand is near. A kinsman redeemer to calm the fear. In Boaz field, the harvest came. A righteous man, a noble name. He saw the outcast, he gave her grace, restored her hope, a rightful place. Through selfless acts, the path was clear. God's providence was drawing near. A greater plan, through love would rise. A lineage leading to the skies. Redeemed by love, a story unfolds. Through broken hearts, his purpose molds. In the darkest hour, his hand is near. A kinsman redeemer to calm the fear. From Ruth and Boaz, a line was born. Through Obed's son, the world was torn. For David's throne would one day bring the promised Christ, the eternal King. From Ruth and Boaz, a line was born. Through Obed's son, the world was torn. For David's throne would one day bring the promised Christ, the eternal King. In love's redemption, his grace we see, a shadow cast toward Calvary. Through Ruth's resolve, through mercy's claim, the world would never be the same. Redeemed by love, a story unfolds. Through broken hearts, his purpose molds. In the darkest hour, his hand is near. A kinsman redeemer to calm the fear. The desperate prayer, a child is born, the answer there. The voice of God, the prophet stands to guide the people by his plan. The nation cried, we want a king to rule, to lead, to bring them peace. But hearts grew cold, the law ignored, the faith misplaced, his heart deplored. The voice of Samuel, the warning clear, seek not a crowd, but hold him near. Yet if you choose, the cost will rise, a kingdom built on fleeting lies. The voice of the king calls, the voice of the king calls through the years. The voice of the king calls to lead his people, to calm their fears. The voice of the king calls through earthly thrones, through fragile hands. The voice of the king calls, the sovereign Lord forever stands. The voice of the king calls. Saul was chosen, his reign began, a flawed and faltering broken man. Obedience lost, the crown would fade, a shepherd rose, the Lord's crusade. David's heart, a psalm of grace, anointed one to take his place through battle Through storms of sin, his love the same. The voice of the king would rise again to crush the grave, to rule as friend. A kingdom made by human pride could never last, could never guide. But in the shadows his will is clear. The eternal king is drawing near. The voice of the king calls. The voice of the king calls through the years. The voice of the king calls to lead his people, to calm their fears. The voice of the king calls through earthly thrones, through fragile hands. The voice of the king calls, the sovereign Lord forever stands. The voice of the king calls. A crown bestowed and a kingdom stands, anointed ruler by holy hands. Through triumphs won and failures known, a glimpse of heaven through David's throne. The hour returned, the city blessed, a covenant made, the Lord confessed. A one will establish, your land will reign, an eternal throne through joy and pain. Through David's psalms, a promise song, a kingdom born from heaven's tongue. Though human hands may fail and fall, the sovereign God rules over all. From the throne eternal, forever unshaken, forever divine. From the throne eternal, alive through ages, forever it shines. From David's light, through heaven's decree, the King of Kings shall set us free. From the throne, eternal. But sin crept in, his heart betrayed. A righteous man, yet still he strayed. From Bathsheba's grief, from Uriah's fall, redemption rose, his mercy called. Through brokenness, his grace remains. A greater king the bloodline sustains. The promises made will not depart. A savior born from David's heart. From the throne eternal, from the throne eternal, forever unshaken, forever divine. From the throne eternal, alive through ages, forever it shines. From David's light, through heaven's decree, the King of Kings shall set us free. From the throne, eternal. Through rebellions rise, through kingdoms tears, his love endures through countless years. A son will come, the nations bow. The time has passed, but the promise is now. From shepherd fields to royal halls, his name resounds, his glory calls. The throne eternal, it shall remain, forever reigning through joy and pain. From the throne eternal, forever unshaken, forever divine. From the throne eternal, alive through ages, forever it shines. From David's light,